guys, welcome back for another ride from Tampa Bay. Today we're going to go up and hit what is reportedly one of the best roads in Florida. It is pretty much a little miniature tail of the dragon. It's a state road up about an hour north. Real easy drive to get there. You go straight up 19 and go into Homosassa Springs, and we should get there. It's about a 9-mile, very curvy road, and it should have some beautiful Florida scenery with swamps and the Gulf of Mexico and all of that. But it's about a third the length of Deal's Gap, Tail of the Dragon. So if you just go down and turn around and come back, well, that's a pretty cool ride. And it's really not that big of a deal to get there. We're going to go through about 45 minutes of pretty boring urban traffic. But then 19 turns pretty nice. It turns into a 4-lane divided rural highway. The only thing special about it is at night you need to watch out for deer and bears because they are all along the sides of the road. And I've actually gone up that way a few times. There's even further north, about 3.5 hours up, you can get to a place called Cedar Key. And it's real nice to just take a day trip out to, especially on a bike. You've got pretty much 3 hours of really nice, relaxing riding, and they've got a beach out there, and it's a small village really, and it's pretty much in the middle of nowhere. And real close to there is where I've gone out a couple times now to take astrophotography, because there are some secluded beaches out there that are about 20 miles away from the nearest lit city or town, and that's what you need for dark skies. So that's where you have to go in Florida if you want, for example, a picture of the Milky Way. Now there's a couple other spots you can go to down in the Everglades, but those are significantly farther and more annoying to get to for me. Although I do want to get down there and try it. So as you can probably see here, I've got my GPS running. Love this setup. Got the life-proof Frey case. I think that's how you say it, F-R-E. Some kind of foreign word. And here comes the rain. I was going to say, I'm going to be testing it out today and probably going to hit some rain, because part of the reason you haven't seen a video in a few days is because it has been raining out like crazy every day. Now today it's just kind of spotty. And we'll probably hit a couple little tiny showers here and there and ride right out of them. Just got all these hundreds of little tiny clouds blowing in off the Gulf. That's left to right on your screen. And it looks like there's a little more of them up where we're going, but I'm sure we're going to run into some more rain here. But everything on the bike is waterproof. Camera, this is why I'm specifically using this Senna setup. And a lot of people ask me, because I've had so many problems with the 20S, although I'm not now. I mean, I'm loving it right now. But they're like, why don't you get another brand? I mean, there's tons of other Bluetooth communication setups out there, and you're right. There absolutely are. I forgot about how the spray gets all over the visor. They need windshield wipers for helmets. Maybe I can raise the windshield here. I don't know what that's going to look like for you guys, but I'm going to find out when I get home. Lots of construction on 19 here. They're putting in all new medians with new turn lanes. They're repaving everything, taking some out, putting some new in. They're doing a good job. It's actually going fairly quickly. Been going on about a month now for about a 10-mile strip. And the other cool thing is, 19 south of here from Clearwater all the way down to St. Pete in just a couple months is going to be signal free. They've been doing this project, I think I mentioned it in another video, since I moved down. I mean, 15 years they've been doing this, but it's really paying off. They have like 90% of it done right now, and it is an absolute pleasure to drive on without any lights. Just awesome. They got overpasses at every intersection, and they just closed the last one to build the construction. And in October, they're scheduled to turn on that new lane, and that'll complete it. So that's really cool. Up here, I don't think they're going to do that. There aren't any plans. This is the next county north. This is Pasco County. So they're just redoing the medians. But it would be really awesome to have that up here too, just to get anywhere. Now I will say it killed business. I mean, virtually every business that was like these here, right along 19, are gone down there. I mean, some of them went out of business years ago because once they started construction, they tore up all the entrances to get off of the road here. And then once they finished construction and there were overpasses and bypasses, well, nobody stops. A lot of these stores along the roads here depend on, you know, foot traffic basically. But now if you're going down there to any store, you have to specifically be going to that store or you never even see it. So it obliterated business. A lot of them moved and a lot of them are just plain gone. But up here we don't have to worry about that happening. Anyway, I'm going to get going through all of this crap. It's going to be a while. And once we get up into more interesting territory, I will be back. As soon as I can get rolling here and shut the stop switch. Alright, see you in a bit. So now we're about 10 miles north. Took quite a long time to get here. These roads are 55 and 60 mile an hour speed limits, but there are so many lights, so much traffic, and so much construction, you average about 30. So we're just cruising on up here. We're just passed out of Hudson. Now the road kind of goes like this. It's a 2-lane divided highway pretty much all the way up to New York from here. Would certainly take quite a while to get there. No plans on doing it. So I'm going to continue on up here. We're going to go through Homosassa Springs, Weeki Wachee, and then we'll get to where we're going. Man, I have to say, this cruise control is fantastic. I've never used it before on a bike. I never added it to my previous one. Oh, it's just beautiful. You don't have to worry about doing anything with your hands. Your wrists are nice and relaxed. Just set it and forget it. It works just like a car. You got your resume set on and off. Turns off if you hit the clutch, hit the brake. You can roll the throttle forward. It's electronic. It'll turn off then. Or if you hit the foot brake. See, I just hit the front brake there and it shut off. I'm going to turn it off because we're running into a little bit of traffic here. But wow, that is super nice. I could see that being so useful. Excuse me, on a long trip. Any kind of freeway driving. Oh, that's nice. One other thing I noticed, that's pretty much the first time I've had it up above 70 there, just cruising, and I noticed that I do have a little bit of high frequency vibration through the bars. It's completely normal, nothing unusual. Every type of engine, whether it's a single cylinder or inline twin, a V-twin, V4, inline 4, they all have different characteristics as far as vibration. For example, a V-twin, they're characterized by the big idle and low RPM shake. Think of a Harley. An inline 4, which is what this is, just like a 4-cylinder in a car, they typically have higher frequency vibrations, like a buzz as it's described, in the higher RPMs. And in this case, I mean, I was only doing like, what, 4.5 8,000 or so, so that's not super high, but you can feel it in the handlebars, and the closer you get to the ends, the more you feel it. Now what they make to fix that are weighted bar ends. These plastic bits here unscrew, and you screw on heavy metal ones. And it changes the resonance of the handlebars, so it eliminates the felt vibration. So I'm going to order a set of those when I get back today. Not too expensive. I'll just find a nice black pair, screw them on, and that'll be that. Super easy. Should be like 50 bucks. Also on the way home, I'm going to stop at the dealer, which is on the way. We passed it, I don't know, I think shortly after I cut off the video we passed it. No, it was before that. You guys saw it. It's across the street from Walmart. Anyway, need to pick up some gear lube for the final shaft drive. I got the service manual in, which is awesome. Plenty of great info in there. It's designed for the user to read, not just the tech. So it has lots of how-to information to do absolutely everything on the bike. I mean everything. It tells you every tool you need, all the specifications, step-by-step instructions. It's really not hard. There's really nothing hard to do on this engine. I mean this motorcycle. And I'll be doing the 600-mile service, which is the first one, real soon here. Let's see how many miles I got. I'll be real close by the time I get home. I've got 365 miles on it. Now I'm still going to be 150 short by the time I get home. Anyway, they changed the spec on the final shaft drive oil. This is a shaft drive bike, meaning there's no chain like a typical bike. There's no belt like a Harley Davidson uses. It just has a shaft, and it's got gears on both ends. So it's a direct coupling from the engine or the transmission to the rear wheel. And inside the housing in the back is oil. Every gear housing needs to be an oil bath. And the last bike, the last model, the last generation I had, wasn't anything special. And I used Mobil 1 synthetic gear lube in it, 7590. And that's pretty much what every shaft drive bike on the planet uses, that specification, and that was fine. Well, this one, they specifically say in the manual that it requires this different type of oil. And it's specified as a 75-80 to 90 synthetic. And it's only for this model, the FJR, the VMAX, and the Super Tenere, which are Yamaha's 3 latest shaft drive models. Now normally, I would be very skeptical, say screw it, I'm still going to use the Mobil 1, you know, it's a lot cheaper. But in this case, it's really not. The bottle of Yamalube that they specify is only 21 and change. That's like $5 more than the good aftermarket oils. And the bottle lasts 5 changes. So you're talking about $1 difference per service, and you only do the service every 8,000 miles. So whoop-de-doo. Just pick up a bottle at the dealer, call it good. A lot of guys I know in these are still running the Mobil 1, and you know, for now, no problems. I really don't anticipate them having any problems, but it's just one of those things where for $1, it's just not worth even worrying about. So in that case, I'll go with the OEM. The engine oil, that is still the same. Engines are engines, and I'm using Shell Rotella synthetic, and you can buy it pretty inexpensively by the gallon at auto stores and Walmart. It's excellent oil. It works very well. This is the most important part. It works very well with the clutch, because motorcycle clutches are called wet clutches. They are bathed in the engine oil. And when you mess with how that sets up, you get hard shifting or slipping shifting and all kinds of stuff. So it's important that you use a not only high quality oil, but one that is known to work well with the transmission and the clutch. and that does. So I've been using that for years. I've got another 5 quarts of that for the oil change coming up. I buy a gallon and a quart, and that is significantly less than the Yamalube. There's absolutely nothing wrong with Yamalube oil. I love it. It's great, but it's expensive compared to regular engine oil. Now when you're talking 2-strokes, back when I had 2-stroke jet skis, I would buy the Yamalube because I really did like it better than the aftermarket, but I would buy it by the case because you got a big discount if you bought 4 gallons at once. And with the 2-strokes, it burns the oil, so you're going through oil like you're going through gasoline. So burning through 4 gallons goes a lot quicker than you think if you ride a lot, and I did. But I'll be going through all the how-tos. I'll do the video on how to do the oil change, how to do the throttle body sync, which is recommended at the first 600-mile service, and it's really not that big of a deal. One thing I was really glad to see was they changed the specifications for the valve servicing. Now it's just every 26,000 miles. That requires disassembly of the valve cover and possibly disassembly of some of the valve mechanism to put on new caps if you need to adjust them. But that's a bigger pain in the butt. It does require some more parts, and I was very glad to see that that is a longer service interval now. 26,000 miles is completely acceptable. I believe it used to be something like 14 or 16. I can't remember what the old bike was. But some are even worse than that. Some specify it every 8 or 10,000 miles, which is just ridiculous in my opinion. Engines shouldn't be going that far out of spec that soon. But for motorcycles, because they do rev so high, so frequently, it is a normal maintenance item to have to do that at least somewhat periodically. So probably in about 2 weeks I'll have more how-tos, and I'll also have one for doing the final drive oil, which is really no big deal. Nothing is a big deal on this bike. It really isn't. I mean, even doing the valve inspection, it's just removing the tank, and there's a bar underneath it, and you're talking 5 bolts and snapping off a piece of plastic. The right side engine cover, again, piece of plastic, and some bolts and moving some wires out of the way. That's really it. You know, these things sound really scary and hard, and the dealer always wants you to take it in. You can save so much money doing stuff yourself. I spent 93 bucks on the service manual. Excuse me. And the only special tool I need for everything I'm going to do is the throttle body sync vacuum gauge. That was 80 bucks, one-time thing. The dealer will charge you between $300 and $400 to do this 600-mile service, which consists of an oil change, a final shaft drive change, and the throttle body sync. It's going to take me about 2 hours to do everything while shooting the video. I mean, it's not that big a deal. So, buying all the oil and stuff myself, I'm saving probably $275, $300 right there. Alright, got another, let's see what the GPS says. About another 6 miles till the turnoff. So I will pick on up. I'm going to get some gas before then, down to 1 bar here, and see how it goes when I get up there. So here we are, it's West Ozello Trail. I'm going to pull into this shell here. This is the start of what's supposed to be the cool-ass road, 9 miles of curves. It goes all the way out into the Gulf. Should be a nice little ride, but I'm definitely going to fuel up before I get down there, because if I end up needing fuel down at the end at those little coastal towns, it's a lot more expensive. All right, ready to rock. I'm going to put my suspension on firm, or hard, get it ready for the twisties. Let's have some fun. Never been here before, so I'm not going to be taking these corners crazy or anything like that. Better have some good tight curves coming up then. I don't mind slow speed limits as long as the road's interesting. A lot of sand and dirt on the road here. Obviously it's been raining a lot, so there's a lot of mud. A lot of dirt roads up here. Alright, lots of curves. Next 1 mile. I was gonna say, it's really nothing special yet, that's for sure. Should be nice. Oh yeah, here we go. Got some nice tightening curves. It should be nice after a few miles when we get out onto the water. This is actually going through marshland in just a bit. We're still on the mainland right now, but it goes out into marshland, basically into islands. They're just swampy areas, and we might have a lot of water on both sides. This is the pretty much forested area that much of Florida looks like. This is all natural. Palm trees are not native to Florida, believe it or not. They're brought in from California. A lot of pine trees grow native in Florida. These are fun so far. Not challenging, but fun. It's more curves than I've seen in a long time. Man, I'll tell you, one of the curviest places, I mean, I've seen a lot of videos of Deal's Gap. I know what it looks like. And one place I've been that blows it out of the water, I don't think it would be very fun on a motorcycle because you have to go like 5 to 10 miles an hour, it's that tight, is going through Sequoia National Forest out in California. Oh my God. I mean, it's like, well, this is nice. It is insane. I don't think they have 2 feet of straight road on the entire thing going through the heart of it. You're literally doing 90-degree turns every 20 feet. I'm not exaggerating. It's like you're going around all the trees because they didn't want to cut anything down, which is fine. And those trees are huge. But it was about 20 minutes of what seemed like turning the wheel lock to lock in the car, just going through there. It was fun. I'd like to try it on a motorcycle, but it's nothing you would be able to take at speed or anything like that. Nothing like this, and nothing like Tail of the Dragon. I do want to get up there sometime. Not sure when though. I like that sign. Lots of curves. Next 0.8 miles. Huh, this is it. Well, while I believe this probably is one of the curviest motorcycle roads in the entire state, it's pretty freaking lame. I really envy the guys a little farther north, especially out west in the mountains. A lot of guys overseas I see posting videos. Oh man, I see some real spectacular roads. Don't get me wrong, I love it down here, I love the road quality, but I don't know anybody down here that wears out their tires in anything but the center. It's just not possible. A little canal running here. Well, with a 35-mile-an-hour limit, and these curves are nothing special, can't see any reason for anybody not in the area to come up here, that's for sure. This would be worth coming back up with the wife. It's supposed to be a good little beach restaurant at the end here. It's a fun little day ride. At least with this bike with so much torque, as long as you're above 30, you can leave it in 5th, and you don't have to downshift if you don't want to for anything, even passing. Engine doesn't mind, it doesn't start lugging. Here, that was from 25, and it just goes. Just feels like an electric motor. No shaking, no complaining. I know a lot of guys in the smaller engines, even doing stuff like this, just have the power to come out of the curve right. They gotta be revving so high, worrying about their shifting. Now with this, you just kind of point it and go. Absolutely love the electronic suspension. It is like having, seriously, 2 or 3 completely different bikes at the press of a button, especially when you compare it 1 up to 2 up. Oh wow, finally a tight turn. Wow. Shocking. That one was pretty cool. First one. I had it on soft coming up here, just going through traffic, and it was like, you know, driving in a Cadillac. Super soft, just floating on a cloud, real nice. Great for going straight. When I'm just going around town normally, ooh, a lot of sand here in this corner. I keep it on standard. You'll see a lot of houses like that up on stilts because this area takes the brunt of any tropical storms or hurricanes, and it does flood a lot. So the homes will be typically up on stilts, and you'll have parking underneath them. It's actually a really cool idea. There's a few of them like that around us, but not many. Mostly they're up here on the nature coast. But just normal driving, I'll keep it on standard, and it's a great mix. I mean, it soaks up normal sized bumps very well, but it's firm enough to be nice in the corners. And then now, having it on hard, which is really the first time I've been truly using it in corners like this, it feels great. I mean, there's just so much control side to side. It just, you don't have to think about it. That's the best I can describe it. You don't have to think about it. The back end is not squatting when I give it throttle. Front end staying very completely planted, and you feel everything. And then when we go 2 up, setting that preload, oh, I'm in 4th. I thought I was revving kind of high there. I didn't even look down at my gear indicator. I'm looking at the road. I'm used to the way the bike sounds. You know, putting in more preload for 2 up keeps the suspension working in its middle range, and it just works great. That was a cool little switchback. Now we're getting into the marshy area. This is in between the mainland and the island. See, a lot of this was cut down. Might have been a controlled burn at one point. Might have been some kind of natural fire, and they just taking control of it. Woo, tell ya, these little bumps here. You feel them when it's on hard. Definitely don't want to be doing the hard setting through any kind of rough roads. Totally different. A little bit of a washboard in there, I feel, too. Still controlled, but you don't feel any of that when it's on standard or soft going down the road normally. Beautiful day out, not too hot. Didn't check the temp, but it feels like it's about 90 already. It's 12:30. It's a Saturday, by the way. That's why there's a little more traffic than usual out, probably. For noon, at least. Yay. It's nothing worse than having a vehicle in front of you going slow when you're on a cool little road. Oh, well, you know what? That's the end of it anyway. This is one of the recommended restaurants here to stay at, or to eat at. It's biker friendly. I'm gonna go down to the end here, turn around, see what it looks like. All right, now we're in the Gulf. Oh man, super cool breeze just hit me. Oh, that's beautiful. Got some guys fishing. Of course, fishing is popular everywhere in Florida. From a bridge, from the mainland, off a boat, doesn't matter. I got a fishing license, haven't used it in a while though. So there we go. Boat ramp to the right, dead end to the left. That'll do it. Well, that was worth seeing. Like I said, I'll come back with the wife and we'll have a fun little day ride. Super fast satellite internet. Yes, satellite, because you can't get anything out here, even cell phone coverage. Ask me how I know. Yeah, they probably have cell phone coverage right here. Stay on your side, buddy. Iowa. Go back to Iowa. Freaking tourists. But where I was last time at Cedar Key, well, not last time, the time before that, when I got stuck on the beach at 3 a.m. in the car, no cell phone coverage. It was about 5 miles back down the road I had a signal. But here there's enough people living. That was in the middle of nowhere. They probably have at least cell phone service here, but you don't get cable, you don't get amenities like that way out here in the sticks. So I'll head on back here and then head on home, stop at the dealer on the way, and call it a day. I'll give you a relaxing ride for the rest of the way here and I'll shut up. Alright, so there we go. That's the Ozello Trail up in Homosassa Springs, Florida, just north of it. Pretty cool. You know what? That was a hell of a lot more fun on the way out than the way in. Probably because I wasn't talking. That was nice. I will definitely come up for that again. For some reason it seemed a lot longer coming out too. It seemed really quick going in. It must have been because I was talking. Yeah, I definitely recommend that. If you're in the area, if you're around the Tampa area, definitely take the little ride up here and give that a shot. I'm going to come back with the wife. We'll eat at that restaurant, chill out, and have a nice little day. That was pretty cool. Well, one more thing I want to mention before I sign off here. You know, I got the GPS going, which I forgot to turn off at the gas station. I'll stop up here and do that. Is the speedo on this is really accurate, which is extremely rare. Motorcycles are notoriously, if you don't have a motorcycle, you probably don't realize this, but they are notoriously inaccurate. I mean, they can be 3, 4, or 5 miles an hour off by the time you get to 60. My old one, my 2006, it was off between 2 and 3 miles an hour at 60. And you know what? They're never off low. They're always high. Now on a geared bike, chain drive, like most of them are, I can completely understand them not really caring about making sure it's real accurate, because a lot of people put different gears on. So it changes it anyway. And they make aftermarket chips that can compensate for it. But this is a shaft drive. It's a direct coupling between the tires and, or the wheel and the transmission. So there's zero excuse why this should not be as accurate as a car. The old one wasn't. This one is. My Mini Cooper, it was the same way. It was about a mile off at 60. My Kia is actually spot on. I mean, it's less than 1 mile an hour different.
Pow! I'm back. Yes, the system conked out again, and I didn't know it until I got home, but really didn't say much after that last clip there anyway, so that's okay. I'm glad I got the whole ride. Obviously, still bugs with the system. I just talked to Sena the other day, and they said they got new firmware coming out, both for the GP10 and the 20S, so, you know, I'll stick with it. It's darn good right now, but obviously there's still some faults with it. Anyway, that's it, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I will be back soon with another ride. Might be a dual vlog, test out the communication and dual recording to the GoPro with the wife. Might actually do that tonight, depends on the weather. Got some more rain rolling in, so we'll see. Maybe we'll do it tomorrow, and we'll get the video up very shortly. That's it. Thanks for watching. Check out the site. Don't forget to get in on the $100 giveaway for the gift card to RevZilla. We'll see you next time. Give me a thumbs up. Take it easy.